Hey there guys, how we doing? It's Thursday and it's War Factory. I'm Yalik and we're gonna walk you through this. Assuming you need to be walked through this. Either that or if you're just watching for entertainment, then well, we'll try to throw in a couple fails. You know, for giggles. Because I meant to though. And let's see what we're working with this week. Well, this is about the easiest War Factory you could possibly draw up. The thing is, that looks intimidating if you use tanks, maybe, but if you just use rifles, you can walk right through that, which we're probably going to do. But let's see if we can make this more interesting than that. The shields back over here could be barded, I suppose, if you wanted to try that. I don't know why you'd want to do that this week. Total health on the HQ is just under 600,000, 580. And with the shield, that's 3.1 million total. You know what I'm thinking? There is a whole bunch of GBE over here. Now, let's see exactly where that extends to. So, about the end of this mine, right here, this last mine. Are those all max? Good to know. Well, no, sorry, that's not even max anymore. So, those are all level 22s, to clarify that. Yeah, so anything short of this final mine, we're good. We're good. Nope, in that case we have to stay down lower beyond this crate. Laser should be fine. So we've got quite a bit of range over here to get GBE, and we've got quite a bit of range over here to get GBE. And I'm going to use my new favorite thing, because I don't, actually the last time that I used Gramps was last week on War Factory. I rarely, no, that's not true. I can't say that. The last time that I've used them seriously, I did use them. Actually, I might show that later for an op hit that I just did. I have found Gramps to be very useful for certain kind of op hits for farming up GBE, but we can look at that in a second, I guess. But for right now, alright, so normally we would use RCZM on a base like that. I'm going to try to go minimal on the rifles, because if we're trying to make this interesting, then I would like to get as much Bombardier as possible into this. My idea is we're just going to try to farm up a bunch of GBE and kill a bunch of stuff, and see how far into the base this gets us. I'm wondering, what do we say, 3.1 million damage plus all of the killing of other things along the way. You know, I wouldn't mind having one boat of medic, because I'm going to do something I never do. If we're getting weird with this, then we might as well get very weird with this. Darn, my Kavan kind of sucks on this account. Well, well, I wanted to use Kavan in second wind. The idea being I can go with less rifles. Select that momentarily. What is the housing space revived? Currently it's at 12. Idea being I could go with less rifles and then use Kavan to spam out new ones. But then again, Sparky's critters, Sparky kicks out free critters, plus we can use her critter ability and kick out a bunch of critters, which honestly, if we're talking about all those cannons over on the beach that we were just looking at, if we're talking about all those cannons, it's not like riflemen are going to need medics, because they're going to die. So I'm thinking Sparky and critters would be the best way to go here. So a critter is going to die if it's shot by this cannon. A rifle is going to die if it's shot by this cannon. But when the rifle's dead, it's dead. And when the critter is dead, Sparky can throw out more critters. That's my thinking on that ability. Getting up GBE, what would we do with it? You know, actually, probably try to kill these machine guns, I guess. So let's see, we should have a nice little firing spot back here with as many boats of Gramps as I think we can afford here. So 1 boat of rifles, 2 boat of Bazookas. I don't think Second Wind is the best ability here, because it's not free, unlike Sparky Critters. Sparky Critters is, you know, you can use her critter ability, that'll cost you some GBE, but if, you know, even if you don't use the ability, she's still giving you her passive critters every so often, and that doesn't cost you anything at all, whereas with Kavan, you can revive rifles to be cannon fodder, literally cannon fodder in this instance, but it's going to be costing you GBE every single time, all of which is to say that much as I would like to use Kavan and his sorry unupgraded Second Wind ability here, I'm going to go with Sparky Critters, which also on this account is at a much higher level, so we're getting better usage out of it, I think. And away we go. We are going to want to kill some mines for later. Now, what did we say? Anything inside of this crate down lowest by the shore, we should be safe. But we're going to try to get as close as possible to the range of the Doom Cannon there, because we want to get as much GBE as we can out of this. I'm thinking we've got the other 2 crates there, and do we drop back? Gonna give it 1 more second. Ooh, tanked a mine. Tanking a couple mines. About to lose a couple of these dudes. Backing away slowly. Laser. Yeah, I don't like it, especially given the health that we're at right now, so we're gonna keep these guys moving to there. I think they'll be fine. And we said we're gonna do a little bit of this, so we'll do some of that. Nope, laser can see us there. Cool. Still getting used to this, as you can tell. Have found a couple productive uses for them, but to get back to what I was saying initially, I don't get to use them on PvP very often. I don't use them really often on Ops, and if I do, it's kind of a novelty, but I have found some decent uses for them. Again, with the laser guys. But I just don't get to play around with these things all that often, so I would expect to see a bit more of this in the near future if you check in on War Factory Day on this channel. I'm not, you know, saying that's for certain, but it's a good bet. Alright, so dropping everyone into here. Now, I want to shock quickly because of the flamethrowers there. That's really the only thing over here that is of any concern to us at all, would be the flamethrowers. One, I'll pop up these. Actually, might have been a mistake to pop up the boom surprises, because then my troops would have just focused on the flamethrowers. But the boom surprises are up, and since we've got them up, we'll go ahead and kill them, I guess. But yeah, you can avoid that by just shocking a little bit earlier and not letting the boom surprises pop up. And more of you. Don't like you. Probably shouldn't use critters for that, because we're counting on the critters to keep our rifles alive. Got a couple of Gramps straying over here. Sparky as well. We kind of want them to be more this way. This stuff is not a huge concern to us. One thing I have found with the very limited usage that I have under my belt with these Bombardiers is that they spread like mad. I tried like getting them all to stay under one smoke, and then flaring to the target out of that smoke, hoping that they'd be like Zookas and just turn and face their target. If it's within range, yeah, they don't do that. They still spread, trying to find their optimal range. But it's a great range. I think their range is 14 tiles or something like that. So they can sit back here. Normally with RCZM, this cannon right here is dying. It wouldn't be dying because we're not going to have the damage to finish this, but that's okay. We spent a bunch of time getting up GBE and stuff. Actually, that gives us time for another experiment, since we're going to have another attack. Let's see we'll scout what's left on that shield, and then I have an idea. Normally with RCZM, you wouldn't be able to get those bases or those defenses kind of ranging the sides of your troops, and so they will continue to shoot at you through an attack, whereas like this sniper here, your Bombardiers will be able to target it since they spread out. Like, let's say you're parked over here, they will spread out to be something like this, whatever their range happens to be, and they will pick off those towers on the side so they don't continue sniping your troops. That's a benefit. Kind of like the Grens with their overthrow damage, but more predictable, but doesn't have quite the same range to it. Anyway, back to this. Current shield is just over 1.1 million current, so 1.5-ish million health on this. I kind of want to see how quickly these guys do that damage. And I mean, it wasn't a good day for warriors anyway, so we might as well have fun with it. Right? And since, you know, this is not a layout that's going to challenge a whole bunch of people, we might as well have fun with it. Once again, I just can't help myself. I'm going to go with the ability that I like and not just... I should try to change things up more often, but I don't, because I don't want to. I'm kind of stubborn about things like that. Anyway, pure Bombardier, and we should get to see some of that spreading. You know what? I'm not even going to finish that sentence. I wish these guys didn't spread so much. That's about all I've got to say about that. They do walk nicely, though. I mean, if you're smoking them. Now, doesn't appear that anything is shooting at anything except... Wow, okay. They're eating through that shield much more quickly than I would have thought. I mean, it's not as quick as Zookas, but this is not going to take any time at all. And you see how much they have spread out there. Hang on, let's see if... Wow, just destroying this. That is pretty all right. I'm kind of loving these things. I'm not going to lie. Everything else that's come from warships can just go and... yeah, go away, but these guys are really cool. So they've spread pretty much to the width of... Darn animations, get out of my way. Pretty much to the width of two smokes there. You see, I was waiting to kind of measure that with the smokes there at the end of that attack, which is quite a lot of spread. So unfortunately, unlike Zookas will just turn and face their target. If it's in range, they just turn and shoot at it. They don't try to spread more. They spread when things are not in range and they have to get in range in order to reach the target. Now, which one of these? This one. It's a setup hit. It's kind of silly, but it's one thing I have been doing with Bombardiers a lot. Now, here we have a quantum. I'm not boosting anything for this operation, so I'm doing some setup hits to make it possible to get to the core and, you know, do a later finishing hit without having to boost. So we have a Quantum, Hot Beach, just rockets all over the place over here. Normally you'd want to attack. I'm going to use Heavy Zuka from here. We'll call that 4 o'clock, 4 or 5 o'clock. And so I really don't like all these rockets behind me shooting at me, plus I don't like a Hot Beach. So I figured I would go ahead and fix that with a little bit of hacking. This is also an unboosted hit though. So after I hack out this rocket on the beach and go up here to take care of those 2 rockets, I know I'm not going to have a lot of GBE left. Now this one didn't have a lot of damage in the area and was stubborn and didn't want to die. So we double hack there to clear that stuff out and then use an artillery to get this guy. Cleared the mines first just because I really needed Sparky to be alive. And then dropped, what's that, 5 boats of Bombardiers over here. These cells are unprotected, that's just free GBE. And I mean, I'm down to nothing pretty much when we start this process here. And by the time I finished with all of this, there's a 3rd stage to this attack. By the time I finished with all of this, I think I had close to 85 GBE back. And I had calced a little bit quickly in my head, and I knew that 50 would be good for what I needed to do next. So these guys are starting to... I love that sound they make. They sound so happy as they blow things to smithereens in front of them. But really, it sounds like they're just joyous little buggers sending up their mortars or whatever those are and raining down pain. But darn it, they're enthusiastic. So only needed about 50 something GBE for this bit. I think like 4 smokes. This is starting at 7 here, and a flare. It's only 3 boats, so 3 boats of Zukas. I know I can fit that under a single smoke at the beach. And then I need a shock up here. And since I had extra GBE, I'm gonna use a critter because when I come out of smoke here, I want to keep my Zukas alive long enough to kill these rocket launchers. So that really was made possible by the range on the Bombardiers, because they're able to access so much extra GBE over here as opposed to Zukas. Zukas would come into range of these rocket launchers pretty quickly, and they wouldn't have been able to get up nearly enough GBE for me to have done all of this. Now I'm just dropping GBE on the core. That's pretty much everything we needed to see there. But that's the roundabout way of saying that I really like these Bombardiers. They're a lot of fun. Back to Warrior stuff tomorrow, presumably. But anyway, I'm Yalek. That's War Factory, such as it was for this week. And I'm out. I'll catch you later.